Poštovani gledaoci, dobroveče, pratite emisiju Razgovor. Moj gost je šef Kancelarije Evropske unije na Kosovu, gospodin Ivo Orav. Ambasadore, dobrodošli.
Thank you very much for inviting me here today.
Novi posrednik Evropske unije u dijalogu Beograda i Prištine je Peter Sorensen. Da li se njegovim posredovanjem u ovom pregovaračkom procesu može očekivati nova dinamika u odnosima Evropske unije i Kosova?
I think usually how it happens that if new people are taking over, then of course they have new energy and new enthusiasm. And I believe very much that it is the case also with Peter Sorensen. He was here a few days ago. He was now in Belgrade, first to come to ask the questions, and then hope very much that he will be soon back with some kind of proposals. Meanwhile, the dialogue, or better to say normalization process, is very important for both Kosovo and Serbia, because I cannot imagine how Serbia or Kosovo would join the European Union without normalization of the relations.
A u kojoj meri od dijaloga i sprovođenja dogovorenog zavisi nastavak finansijske pomoći Evropske unije Kosovu?
The European Union is the goal for both, for Serbia and Kosovo. Dialogue is a condition or precondition, and financial assistance or our money is just a tool to help to make the reforms and to help also for both to prepare the membership of the European Union.
A može li se govoriti o ukidanju sankcija Kosovu za koje zvaničnici Kosova kažu da su nepravedno nametnute?
Perhaps one more element about to your previous question about the financial assistance, that yes, European Union is ready to help as much as possible, and now there is a growth plan of the European Union. It's a lot of money what could be received by all Western Balkan 6 countries. But it's not only about money, it's exactly for the reforms, for the better life, and to fulfill the expectations of people of all those countries to move towards European Union and one day to join European Union. So that some in Western Balkans have received already the first payments from growth plan, Kosovo has not, and there are no other problems, but the only problem that there is no assembly at the moment, because the assembly, whenever formed, should accept the or ratify the loan and facility agreement. So this is the reason why money is not coming yet from this growth plan. About the measures against Kosovo, I would mention here Peter Sorensen, who was here, and that all his meetings in 3 days he heard from Kosovo counterparts, be them in the government or opposition or business leaders or NGOs, about the situation with measures and about the expectations that European Union will lift those measures rather sooner than later, so that he took this message back to Brussels.
Mnogi poznavaoci političkih prilika ocenjuju da je dijalog klinički mrtav. Šta vi kažete na to?
I mean, no way. It's not clinical dead, not dead, whatever. This is very important step between, or process between Serbia and Kosovo agreed, or what started already 2013 with the facilitation of the European Union. By that time, High Representative Madame Ashton, and it has continued, yes, with some more positive moments, some more negative moments, but now to say that there is clinical death, no way. This is alive, and the best example is exactly Peter Sorensen, who was here and who will be here again, and under the guidance of High Representative, who hopefully will be here also rather sooner than later.
Pitanje nestalih je jedno od prioriteta u dijalogu. Šta je učinjeno u rasvetljavanju sudbine nestalih?
Issue of missing persons is very serious one. And here, whatever you mentioned before in your question about the dialogue, I mean, dialogue is very much alive. Because there was this very important agreement between chief negotiators of Serbia and Kosovo last December to form this joint commission for missing persons. And now we have to take this work forward. Here in Kosovo, EULEX, our EULEX colleagues, they are working very closely with Kosovo counterparts at the Institute of Forensic Medicine, and our EU office here helps as much as possible so that the voice of all those families who have missing persons as their loved ones, this voice will be very much heard, and then also we want to do everything maximum that this institute will have all the tools to do this work. Because it's a huge problem for more than 1,600 families or persons who are missing, and they have right to know the truth, what happened, why, and in that way we can move forward. So that this is a positive example what the dialogue could do.
Ambasadore, kada smo već kod dijaloga, koliko dijalog zavisi od stabilne političke vlasti na Kosovu, ali i u Srbiji?
Well, I think, of course, it very much depends on it. But now from the European Union side, we are ready to come in. We are ready to help. There is new European Commission who is committed very much for the enlargement process. And all the member states, since 2022, there is new dynamic for the enlargement process. Because for unfortunate reasons, but I think this enlargement enthusiasm in Brussels should be utilized in a maximum way. So that from our side, we are ready to help. And the good example is, again, Peter Sørensen, who was here for the first visit in his new capacity. And hope very much that we will have counterparts soon here in Kosovo, and then also that from Serbian side it's possible to continue this dialogue.
Odugovlačenje u konstituisanju Skupštine i formiranju vlade Kosova koliko utiče na dalji tok pregovora?
Forming the government in many countries takes quite a long time after the elections. And here I hear also some complaints that it takes a lot of time, but what is most important that the will of all the voters is taken into account in a proper way. So that's the reason different governments or different systems, those rules are in a bit different way also. But now this counting system, then appeals and complaints system, it is how it is here in Kosovo, and it takes a bit more time so that when those appeals and complaints are solved by then appeals and complaints panel and Supreme Court, then hopefully it gives the way to form the government. From our side, what is important that this government will be a stable one, the good partner for us to get the promises and also deliveries. Because only in that way we can move forward together towards the European Union.
Kosovske vlasti zabranjuju rad institucijama koje rade po sistemu Republike Srbije. Da li se o ovom pitanju može pregovarati u okviru dijaloga?
Serbian institutions in Kosovo, this is clearly the issue for the dialogue. And we have highlighted it many, many times in our conversations with the politicians here, but also several times publicly. And we know, of course, that how much this issue is affecting also people in the concerned area. Meanwhile, there are a lot of agreements, lot of requirements what both governments have agreed to do, so that both have to implement what they have agreed. And here, concerning Serbian side, I would like to highlight that Serbia has promised not to prevent Kosovo to join the international organizations. And here, first of all, I am talking about Council of Europe.
Kosovo je posvećeno članstvu u Evropskoj uniji. Koliki je značaj finansijske i tehničke pomoći zemalja Evropske unije u sprovođenju vitalnih reformi?
I think it's very important. But again, money itself is not making the reforms. And when the European Union is giving money, not only here in Kosovo or Western Balkans, but European Union is the biggest donor everywhere in the world, and of course here in Kosovo, then the idea is that if we give this money, then first we want that our own taxpayers understand that this is well spent money, so that taxpayers in Latvia, Portugal, Spain will be happy. And we hope also that the citizens of Kosovo understand that this money is well spent, and thanks to this financial assistance they are closer to the European Union. So that what needs to be done by the government here is to make the reforms to be absolutely everywhere up to the standards of the European Union. And this money helps if it's well spent and well targeted. And here I would like to highlight once more the growth plan, what is unique tool, and hope very much that when assembly will be gathering, so there is another very important element of motivation why it should be done quickly. Then those two agreements ratified, and then the first payments would come to Kosovo too.
Povodom posljednje izjave profesora Jusufa Budžovija da nezavršenu crkvu Hrista Spasitelja u centru Prištine treba srušiti, oglasila se i eparhija Raško-Prizrenska, koja navodi, citiraću, kaže da ovakva retorika ozbiljno podriva svaki napor ka pomirenju i međusobnom poštovanju zajednica na Kosovu. Ona također predstavlja kršenje osnovnih ljudskih prava, uključujući pravo na slobodu veroispovesti i zaštitu kulturnog i verskog nasleđa, zagarantovanih kako međunarodnim, tako i kosovskim zakonima, navedeno je u saopštenju eparhije. Ko garantuje bezbednost objekata Srpske pravoslavne crkve na Kosovu?
So the religious and cultural heritage issues are regulated by the Constitution of Kosovo. And we as international community, particularly European Union, we are following very closely how those things are dealt with this heritage. I would like to highlight that this heritage is important for all communities here in Kosovo. And I know also that Kosovo police has a special role because they have to protect certain religious objects here. So again, our EULEX colleagues are working closely with Kosovo police in this regard. And then again, I mean, those are delicate issues, and sometimes there are disputes, sometimes there are problems. And I personally follow it also closely, including my office, because I am the co-chairman of this Implementation Monitoring Council, together with the Minister of Kosovo government, so that we are meeting, hopefully now regularly, because I came only 1st of September, and I have co-chaired one meeting a few months ago, and now we are hoping that the new government will be formed, and we could meet again. And what I have to say, even if those views in this council were quite controversial, then the atmosphere was very constructive, and it was possible to come to the agreements to move forward. And I hope very much that we can keep it in the same way.
Zatim ponovo gužve na prelazu Merdare, još uvek ništa novo u proceduri za ulazak robe proizvedene u Srbiji i dopremanju skenera na Kosovo.
So the free trade agreements are meant for free trade, it's clear. But then in all the free trade agreements, there are also exceptions. And exceptions for security, so that this free trade agreement can be suspended for a certain time, it's clear. And Kosovo side has clearly problems with the security issues. So the hope very much that all the crossing points will be opened rather sooner than later, but this compromise, what was found in last autumn concerning CEFTA and concerning the opening of those common crossing points, compromise means that everybody has to give something and nobody is absolutely happy. So that what the compromise is, we are very much hoping that those scanners will arrive quite soon, and if they arrive, then we can move forward.
A da li se ovim krši sporazum o slobodnoj trgovini i CEFTA sporazum?
I cannot reply to you so explicitly. Like in my previous reply, I told, yes, if it's free trade, it's about free trade. But if one party has security concerns, then there are possibilities to make exceptions, and this is the case at the moment.
Ambasadore, hvala mnogo na izdvojenom vremenu i hvala što ste bili gost naše emisije.
Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Također, poštovani gledaoci, pratili ste emisiju Razgovor.